Hi guys, welcome back to another cinematic mic review. Today I'm reviewing the Coen brothers, The Big Lebowski. The Big Lebowski stars Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, and some other great known actors like Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman, David Toulouse, and Sam Elliott. The Big Lebowski is about a man that they call the Dude. He's known as the Dude around town. His friends call him the Dude, and he's just a character, a guy that's just going on about his business, his life. He does his own thing. He likes to bowl. He likes to drink White Russians, and he's not really someone that's really impressed, someone that would impress, I think, anybody. He's what you would say a lazy person. uh and the situation that there's the situation that comes at him because they think that he's a certain person, which ends up leading to a more bigger problem over this ransom. It's like about a whole ransom. He gets caught up, tangled, I guess you would say, into this whole ransom situation. And he's just a guy that just wants to do his own thing and just wants to go on about his life, but he gets all stuck into the situation. So that's kind of where the story goes, and it's kind of about. That's one of the things that I like about this story is that they take a random person, someone that's not someone that you can take serious. He's not a big hero or anything, and they put him in this situation. And it's cool how the creators, the writers and directors, they thought about this guy that let's base it off of this guy who doesn't do anything, doesn't do shit, and let's have him be part of this whole what would you call it, this whole like crime type of investigation type of thing. Let's put him in there. So that was pretty cool because he really isn't anybody. And one of the things I like in the film is like the beginning, the opening shot. I was gonna talk about a little bit about the camera work, cinematography, I guess. I like the shot where it's the opening where it's pushing into the dude at the grocery store. And the reason I like it is because it's showing, you know what, we're gonna, this is our character, this is the character we're focusing on. But he looks just like an average person. He doesn't look like I said, he doesn't look impressive. He doesn't have like a suit on, nothing. He's not a cop. I can't see anything. He just looks like someone that just popped out. It's probably like the way, like if it was late at night and I had to go get something at the grocery store, probably something that I would put on or go over there with just shorts and like a shirt, like not really dressed like in a proper way to impress or anything, just there. So I like how it's just, this is our character, this like random guy at the grocery store who could be probably anybody. So I like that idea, and I like the way that push-in shot of the grocery store. Since I'm talking about the beginning, I have to bring up Sam Elliott, who's actually the narrator in the film. I actually like how he comes in to narrate the story, and I like how he's really narrating like we're getting ready, we're getting sucked in, and it seems like it's one of those scenes from back in the day. If you were probably from like the 1800s or whatever, back then, like kids or like a whole town gathered around, and then someone just pulled you in and he's telling you the story about a legend, like a legend that was around from this town before. And so that's what it feels like, the way he talks about, like, oh, in the city of Los Angeles there was a guy and a dude. And so I really like that narration by Sam Elliott, how they brought it into, like, I say, like, it's kind of bringing it into like a fairy tale world, but it's not, because it's Los Angeles. The characters in this film, Jeff Bridges plays the dude, John Goodman plays Walter, Steve Buscemi plays Donnie. But I guess the ones that I'm gonna talk about is right now is the dude and Walter. And these guys talk in a manner that's really like a smart ass manner. They respond really quick, or they really like sarcastic to something that's said to them. And it really reminds me of like friends that I have that are really like, they've been smart asses. Like when something comes out of my mouth, they end up saying something like really sarcastic, which but is probably true what they're saying too. But they're being like smart asses, so it's kind of like can be looked at as like, man, you're mean or something. But that's the way. That's the characters that of Walter and the dude, that they remind me of a few of my friends that I have. These characters are funny. Like Jeff Bridges' character, the dude, like I said, he's doing his own thing. He's just some guy that just freaking drinks all day, smokes all day. That's all he does. He just wants to bowl. But one of the things I like is how they made this character and they made him passionate about something. While these characters, they're passionate about something. Like some people would be passionate, like I'm passionate about movies, DVDs, some people are passionate about other things, music, and that's something that I like, that they give this character, that's something he's passionate about, and he's passionate about bowling. I mean, you see him like I think lying on the ground and he's listening to like bowling sounds and all that. And I think there was a poster on his in his house of this boy, and he has it like if this guy's a god. This bowler is like a god. So it's something so random, something you wouldn't think, but it's interesting, man. And it makes you think like people are interesting, and sometimes it's cool to follow these people. And this guy's following someone who likes bowling, but throws them in the situation where a ransom is happening. And yeah, the dude is one of the ones that does the sarcastic attitude. I like his way of being, the way he's sarcastic with everyone. Like the scene in the opening scene when they come to his house, and then he's like, he just tells these guys that just freaking it's cool because he's not even scared of these people. He's not even scared of them. He's just like these guys. He doesn't take these guys that serious at all. Like probably a little bit later, it takes them a little bit serious when there's some threats going on. But it seems like he doesn't take that much serious about this. Like this toilet scene where he's just like, yeah, let me look in there. It's down there. It's down there somewhere. Let me look again. He's just being a really smart ass back to these people that are really threatening him. The thing about Walter is that he's really like hot temp, and he just wants to bring like any excuse to bring up like the army or anything that has nothing to do with what's going on most of the time, something that annoys the dude. And he can be frightening at times, but at the same time, that impulse that he has is actually hilarious in the film. I like what they did with the costume design. As I said before, the way the dude looks earlier in the film, the beginning of the film, it looks like something like someone would dress like if they were probably running late. They forgot to get something at the store, and probably the store's about to close already. They wouldn't go all dressed impressive. You see these people kind of at the store like that sometimes, but this guy dresses like that every day, and it looks like he wakes up in the morning, and that's his. Like me, I put on clothes that I want to look all right. I probably don't look that great, but I want to put on actual clothes. I don't want to look lazy. And he looks like he just puts this on, and that's his whole thing for the whole day. He doesn't really care. He wears this robe, one t-shirt, shorts, and I think sandals, and that's the way he rolls. And so I think that describes a lot about his character. That's showing how lazy he is. It's the same thing with Walter's character. He wears this vest. He wears the green, which is like the color of the army, a bandana. His haircut is like the way like the old school military people. That reminds me of the old school military people. I'm not sure if they still have that style, but it reminds me of like the classic army movies and all that. So I think that all that describes a lot about the characters, and it helps tell the story more. As I was watching the film, it got kind of confusing. This isn't my first time watching it. I've seen it many times. I own it. That's why I watched it. But I was trying to follow the story so I could do my review, and then I'm like, let me really pay attention to this and remember like what's going what. But as I was going along with it, I'm like, damn, it's going from here to there to here. And then I started thinking about this. I'm like, you know what this kind of reminds me of? And I think it got to the point where he gets to Jackie Treehorn's place, and I was like, this reminds me of the classic black and white films of like these I don't know what you call them, mystery films, or would it be crime, like mystery crime films, like but it reminds me of the classic ones, the black and white ones, where one character, something's going on and they have to solve this like situation, and you end up meeting this character here, a woman, or the woman's ex-lover, or and all that. So it reminded me really about I'm not sure if that's what they were going for, but it really reminded me of those classic like black and white films. This movie has like a lot of great moments in it. There's like a lot of scenes that you can say, damn, that scene was funny. And this is my issue with because I think this is a dark comedy, and I love dark comedies. That's my type of comedy. I don't like comedy, regular comedy, I guess you would call it. I like just movies that are comedies because I feel like they have kind of like the same formula. I don't know. There are probably some that I have. I'm not sure if I own probably one. I probably won't, but I know I don't know much. I'm not into like, I guess, regular comedy, you would call it. I don't know. I was always, not always, I got into it. Like I got introduced to it. I forgot how, but dark comedy is my thing. That's why I tell everyone, they're like, oh, have you watched this comedy? Or like, and I'm like, I'm more into dark comedy. The one thing I hate about like a good, like, because dark comedies are good. They're good, and there's a lot of great dark comedies out there. Big Lebowski is one. But the thing I hate is that when you watch it the first time, that is like the best moment ever because you're laughing. That's a real laugh where you just laughing your ass off because of this joke, because of whatever happened on the scene. And I always, sometimes when I'm putting on a movie, I'm like, damn, I just wish it was my first time with that. I wish it was really my first time putting this on because I know I still laugh, but I know it's not the laugh that I had the first time. Yeah, I think I told a friend the other day about another movie. I think it was I forgot, man. But I told him, I'm like, you know what? I wish I didn't watch this movie. He's like, why? I'm like, because now because I would have laughed. I want to laugh the same way that I did the first time that I watched it. And I kind of felt a little bit here, but since it took some time since I've seen The Big Lebowski, I put it on and I laughed again. There's times where I laughed like I was just laughing right before it happened or right at the exact moment that it happened. So, but like I said, it's not gonna be the laugh like the first time, and I wish it was that. That there's a special moment about the first time that you watch it. These characters are memorable. That's something that I like is that these characters they made. The dude. He's a guy that's lazy. He doesn't have a job. They call him out on it a lot. And he has this kind of attitude, where he's like, fuck it, fuck everything, until some bits of this film. And then there's also Walter, who's a character that's from the veteran. He's from a veteran, and he has these issues. He has this temperament and all that. And Donnie too. Donnie's just there as like the angel kind of, but he's great in it though. The way when they talk with each other and the way they treat, well, one of them treats Donnie, it's just funny the way. And I was looking at one scene, I forgot what scene it was, but there's a shot right there where all three of them are in the frame, or I'm not sure if it's going like panning right. I'm not sure. Or but and they're playing it really well. The way they talk, the directing was really well there because it actually feels believable. Like the banter like with one another, it seems like the way they would talk as friends. And it's cool that all three of them are passionate about bowling, but they all like have their own characteristics in it. What I like about dark comedy is that I can laugh. It's comedy, but because it's dark comedy, you know that okay, yeah, it's a comedy, but they're taking something probably that could be serious and making you laugh about it. There's gonna be probably death, there's gonna be blood and all that. But there's in dark comedies, there's also always this emotional. There's something emotional to it too, where you can take away the funny part, and that what that's sad, that's heartbreaking. And I kind of feel that here, like right now when I just finished watching it, there's a scene at the end where one of the guys ends up going away and I was just like it always hits me because I'm like that's messed up. These guys, all three of them are friends. And they seem like just average people, just friends that hang out at the bowling alley, and this whole situation happened, and now they just lost a friend because I don't know if it was because of the situation was really scary or it was just something that was going to happen. To me it's probably because the situation was scary, but that part's just heartbreaking. It's a character that's one of the great characters in it. That's just something that the innocent one right there. And so that's something that I like about comedies, where it could still kind of the dark comedies, it could still make you emotional. The place where they spread I'm a fan of this film. I've been a fan of this film, probably not as long as like other people have. I got to this film I think late. I think people already knew about this a long time ago when I probably should have known about it. But the scene where they are spreading the ashes of their friend, that city, I actually been there. I went there with a friend, and he told me, he's like, "Oh, because I think he had to babysit. He had to take care of his aunt's or grandma's house. I forgot." And he's like, "Yeah, we can go, and we're gonna. It's right next to where they filmed the Big Lebowski." And we went over there, and I actually went right there on the rocks of the where they shot it at. I'm not sure exactly on the same spot, but yeah, I was there. I remember it's all graffitied up, and I think in the movie it doesn't look graffiti where the shot that they got. But where we were at, I was like, oh, it's all graffitied up already and everything. But it was cool that day. One of the things I like about this film is, like I said, I like the idea of like picking this random lazy stoner a guy that just drinks and smokes weed all day, most of his days, and throw him inside the situation, which is pretty cool. And then like the way Walter acts too, is kind of like stupid decisions, stupid way of thinking. And it reminds me of a film which is also by the Coen brothers, which is Burn After Reading. And that's how I got to this one, I think, is because I bought No Country for Old Men. I remember it was at Walmart. I saw the all the DVDs were in like a stack, and it had like the sticker. I still have it. I think it has a sticker of Academy Award. And I didn't want to buy it because I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be boring or not. And I picked it up, and I picked it up mostly because it was getting all that hype about being Oscar worthy and all that. And I picked it up and I loved it. And I'm like, this film was cool. And then me being a fan of like, when I'm a fan of a movie, I want to see the director's work because I'm pretty sure I'll be a fan of his other work. And then I think a year later or so, Burn After Reading was coming out, and I saw that it was by the Coen brothers. I'm like, cool, I want to see that in film. And it was different because it wasn't like freaking No Country for Old Men. It was a comedy, and I didn't know that they came from like the dark comedy and all that. So I saw Burn After Reading in theaters. I remember I saw it with my dad, and we were laughing so hard. And I think I saw it a second time with my dad. I think the second time I saw it with my dad, and I wasn't sure if he was gonna like it or not because I didn't think he was gonna get it. But me, it was just about these characters that are freaking stupid, taking this situation that could have been probably serious, but it's just a stupid thing. The way they're thinking is just stupid. I think they're just stupid, and that's the whole funny thing about it. And I feel like it's a little bit here in the Big Lebowski. And so yeah, that's how I got to it. I got to it a little bit after No Country for Old Men and Burn After Reading. I got to it after I picked it up one time, and then I saw it and I loved it. I remember one time I was watching this film and I was right there in the living room and I was playing it, and my brother came in. Usually I'm the one who tells my brother, oh, watch this movie, watch this movie. But I think this was one of those films where I'm like, no, I don't think this is my brother's type. I think he'll probably be bored of this type of film. I don't know if he'll get it. And I think he came over to visit for a little bit and it was playing on the screen. And I don't know what scene I was at. I forgot. But he looked at it and there's some few funny scenes. He was just paying attention. He started laughing. And there's another scene. He started laughing. And then it just came out. He's like, hey, man, you think I can borrow it someday? And I let him borrow it. And man, now it's one of his favorite films. The Big Lebowski is one of his favorite films. He really enjoys it. I got him for Christmas. I got him like this collection from FYE that comes with like a bowling ball. I think comes with a DVD. So that was cool. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys to see like, this film is good. I do recommend this film if you haven't seen it. It's a great dark comedy. You have some laughs. So if you haven't seen it, put it on. That's my review for The Big Lebowski. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.